I discovered my parents, stole my 200K trust fund to support my sister. When I exposed them, they got furious and kicked me out of the house. Growing up, I always knew my sister Corey was the center of my parents' world. She was born with Down syndrome, and from the moment she came into our lives, my parents' entire focus shifted towards her. I understood why. Corey needed more attention, more care, more love. But as I got older, I started realizing that my needs, my dreams, and even my existence felt secondary to hers. I wasn't allowed to have sleepovers unless Corey was included. I couldn't go out with my friends without being guilt-tripped into bringing Corey along. I had to attend therapy sessions with her, even though I didn't need them, just because my parents said it would help her socialize. Every family event revolved around her, every decision made with her in mind. It was always Corey first, but what I never expected was how far my parents would take it. When I was born, my grandfather set up a trust fund for me. He had worked hard his entire life, building his small business from the ground up, and when he passed away, he left me $200,000 to secure my future. My parents had control over it until I turned 21, and I never worried about it. My grandfather had always been clear. That money was mine, for college, for a home, for my future dreams. So, imagine my shock when I turned 21 and found out there was nothing left. The truth comes out, I had just finished my second year of college when I decided to check on my trust fund. I wasn't planning to spend it all, but I wanted to see how much was there so I could start planning for my future. I logged into the account and saw the balance, $72.14. At first, I thought there had been a mistake. Maybe I was in the wrong account? Maybe the bank had messed up? But after hours of digging, I found out the horrifying truth. My parents had drained my trust fund. I confronted them immediately. I showed them the bank records, the withdrawals, the payments. At first they tried to deny it, but the evidence was undeniable. Eventually my mother sighed and said, "It was for Corey. They had used my money for Corey's therapy, her special education, her toys, her pink-themed bedroom remodels, even a trip to Disneyland. Anything and everything Corey had ever wanted. They used my trust fund to give it to her." "You have to understand," my dad said. "Corey needed it more than you did." I was shaking with anger. "That money wasn't yours to take. Grandpa left it for me, for my future. How could you just steal it?" That's when my mom got angry. "How could you be so selfish?" she snapped. "Corey is your sister, family, takes care of each other. You'll earn that money back someday, but she'll always need help." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. They had stolen from me, and now I was the bad guy? The fallout? I told them I wanted the money back, all of it. If they didn't have it now, they needed to figure out a way to pay me back. My dad laughed bitterly. "We don't have it, and we're not going to apologize for taking care of our daughter. If you can't accept that, maybe you should leave." I stood there, stunned. They were choosing Corey over me again. I packed my bags that night. My parents didn't stop me. My mom just muttered, "If you walk out that door, don't bother coming back." So I left. Starting over, I had nothing. No money, no home, no support. I crashed on a friend's couch for a while and picked up multiple jobs just to stay afloat. I worked harder than ever before, not because I had a choice, but because I had to. My parents had taken my security, my safety net, and thrown me out into the world with nothing. But you know what? That was the best thing they ever did for me. I fought my way through college, took on student loans, worked extra shifts, and slowly built my life from scratch. I learned independence, resilience, and strength I never knew I had. And today, I'm doing better than ever. My parents tried to reach out a few years later. Not to apologize, of course, but because they wanted financial help. They had spent everything, and Corey still needed support. I told them no. They called me heartless, selfish, ungrateful. But I don't care anymore. I spent my entire life sacrificing for them, and they never gave me a second thought. I won't spend my future paying for their mistakes. A message to anyone listening. If you've ever been the forgotten child, the one who was always expected to give, the one who was never put first, know this: you deserve better. It's not selfish to put yourself first sometimes. It's not wrong to demand respect, to stand up for what's yours, to refuse to be treated like an afterthought. I built my life without them. And if you have to, you can too. If this story moved you, if you've ever felt overlooked, if you believe in standing up for yourself, like, share, and subscribe to support my journey. Let's make sure no one else has to go through what I did alone.